Welcome to People's Distinctive Travels Podcast, starring
Overlord of Fresh.
People's Distinctive Travels Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Overlord of Fresh.
And this is Ultramag 7.
You are tuned into episode 6 of People's Distinctive Travels podcast, which is also part 2 of our interview with Sugar Bear from Strong Island.
Yeah, Fresh, I really can't wait for people to hear part 2 because part 1 was so good. You know me, I listen to these episodes over and over.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for people to hear part 2.
I am so psyched.
It's a good one.
I'm going to listen to it again too after it's all, all said and done. So, we're really excited. Just to bring everyone up to speed on where we left off from part 1, Sugar Bear was starting to talk to us a little bit about probably his most famous song he ever released, Don't Scandalize Mine. And he was getting a little emotional thinking back on it. And we kind of ended it there. And so picking up in part 2, we're going to really get into his story about how that record was made and, what it did for his career. And then he's going to tell us a little bit about other songs that he recorded as well.
Right.
So, we hope you enjoy hearing more of his stories. He's a great storyteller, which, we've said before. And the humor is off the chains on this one, man. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. So we really hope you enjoy it.
It's a sequel. I said it before, once more, time after time.
There was this young lady by the name of Sheila Atkins. She's out of Philly.
Mm-hmm.
She managed Stephanie. No, not Stephanie. Evelyn Champagne King.
Okay.
For years. You walk in our house, you see the plaques. She's been in the management industry for a long time. You follow what I'm saying? She was managing Paul. Because Paul went solo from the group. Paul Shabazz. Now his name is Amari Shabazz.
Mm-hmm.
So she started managing me. That's when everything went left on a positive note.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because working with her as my management, she had, the management team that used to go up to record company. Went to radio stations with my record every Wednesday, where you get them motherfuckers to play your shit. And, same shit like in what was that movie with Tay Diggs? And all the rappers was in it when he was a record producer. Most Def was the cab driver.
Yeah.
Sugar.
That was my boy, ER. I need you sometimes though, man. Glad to hear your voice. That's how you do that. But Brown Sugar. Same way what he was trying to do with Most Def's record, the character that he was playing, the cab driver, that's what they were doing at that time. That was the old school way of getting your record played, having a team go up to record companies, smash it, and all that. That payola shit, I don't know, that under the table, trash, whatever. They was responsible, whatever.
Right.
Never got my record played in New York. This is Coslet Records now.
Wow.
This is Coslet Records. The record was never played. Everybody knew my record from off of the college radio stations or the underground radio stations at night.
But never on the New York radio station.
So
that didn't happen until later.
So Chuck Chill Out Red, nobody played that on Coslet?
That's funny you would bring up Chuck. Chuck Chill Out. All right, so later on down the line, now, we're still answering the question.
Yeah.
The
break it down,
transition from Coslet
See,
to
he's
Next
like,
Plateau,
he's
right?
keeping you
Oh, I love
in
it.
check
No,
here.
I
This is good.
Okay, cool. So, all right, it was Red Alert. Red Alert liked side B.
Right.
Okay. I'm still tight and confused about this shit. I would keep it 100. I want to give a shout out to Chuck Chill Out and Cool DJ Red Alert because they play a very important part in the success of Don't Scandalize Mine, regardless to what y'all hear sonically as far as how the record was produced. Mm-hmm. To me, I feel that they play an important part in, you know, the acknowledgement of the record, should I say.
Right.
So, okay, so Red Alert, he grabs me up because we hang out. That was my drinking buddy. He don't drink no more and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he told me he liked Ready to Penetrate. Can I use it for my first compilation album?
I think I might have heard of that one.
I
At some
said yes.
I think I might have it. Oh, shit! You're going to sign this thing.
I knew that was coming out.
And I got my Sharpie. I think I got it.
I'm pretty
in my
sure I
bag.
got a Sharpie.
Oh,
got it in
we need
my
one.
shit,
pocket.
really?
And listen.
This is how you do it. This is Red Alert's first compilation album on cassette. You was a funny nigga because he don't check the sign. I had to order it and I got it on wax.
Right.
I had to order it though.
But here's the thing, and I'm being very honest with you.
Wow,
I'm not gassing
yo,
you up.
Killed me with that.
There were two reasons why I purchased this. Number one, I'm not a DJ. I'm just a fan. I couldn't get Ready to Penetrate. I couldn't get so I got this for Ready to Penetrate, and then Ultramagnetic's Funky. There's a
Right.
That's why I got this.
Right.
But for your song, because they have the original version of Funky. This is just a different version.
Right.
But your song, is the whole reason I got
We
that
talk
tape.
about that all the time
The whole
on the
reason. That's
podcast,
no
how like he wasn't a DJ, so he had to find his music
He's
in
into
different ways.
music.
Yeah, yep.
He's into music,
Yep.
and that's what I was saying earlier.
Let me tell you also, I have a friend named Melissa.
Ready to Penetrate is my
She
shit.
loves Ready
I
to
love
Penetrate.
that song.
So I know when you say we're ready, but that's her song. I was talking to her. I said, you got to send me a little something. I said, because, you got to say a little something on the podcast.
That
I
was my
recorded
shit
it,
back
we'll
in the
put that in,
day.
but
It's my shit
She
now.
loves Ready to Penetrate.
Yo, Melissa, that's a shout out to
give shout out to
Melissa.
Melissa.
Word up, love. I love you for that. That you listen to music too. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Everybody's following shit, man. Nah, listen to music. I be telling motherfuckers, shut up. I ain't your DJ. If I got my speaker on the table, just listen to music. It's my songs that I choose to play in the playlist, but shut the fuck up and listen to music. It ain't gotta be your song. Stop interrupting. Niggas be interrupting the wedding receptions. It ain't your wedding. Matter of fact, you wasn't at the wedding. You at the reception. Fuck out of here. Sit your ass down, man. Yeah, but anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, so Red Alert asked me if he could use it for his compilation. Now, this is when he threw in the motherfucker. Also, Teddy O'Loughlin from Next Plateau would like to sit down and have a meeting with you. Now, mind you, I already had a meeting with Russell Simmons.
Whoa, Def Jam. Whoa, break this down.
First. This was at the Palladium in Manhattan. We sat. All right, wait a minute. Let me see how I could put this together. I'm already out on tour with the record. This is before the request
From Red
Alert and the meeting with Russell at the Palladium on the steps going down to the bathroom. Me and Russell sitting on the steps. People was trying to get with me. You know what I'm saying? And because I had that old school, well, not old, because I had that connection from back in the days from Coney Island with Houdini and all that, being up at Def Jam, and mind you, I wasn't part of, I'm cut from the Public Enemy tree, the Spectrum City. I'm cut from 510. But when I left separately. So I never did anything in the footsteps of Chuck and all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm gonna keep it 100, and I understand why, and I can sincerely say, which I've done before, but I can sincerely say, at that time I was an asshole, and I apologize once again. I'll do this live on air, that I've had 2 separate incidences which resulted me into not having the relationship with Hank Shockley and Chuck D. All right? So, not to tell that whole story, but in case they hear me or they hear this, I believe I apologized over again, but I want to do it due to the fact that, you know, I don't even know if there'll ever be another podcast, whatever. But I want to say it to the public that for those moments at my age and all that stuff, I was completely wrong, and I apologize for that. You know, but, you know, since then, I've always talked. I still get backstage. I'm still laminated. I'm still all that with these niggas. They, you know, I love them. They're my peoples. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the record, I was out on tour, and because I was up at Def Jam and all that stuff, there was this gentleman. Who was that? Faith. I forgot her last name.
Newman?
It was Faith Newman.
Okay.
That used to work up at Def Jam. I had a meeting with her.
Okay.
Before anything. Leol and them. Hold on. Let me back it up when I say Leol. With Seriously Fine, now mind you, this is all before Seriously Fine. But me and X-Ray, a.k.a. GM Web D, we produced a record on that album.
On Seriously Fine?
Seriously Fine album.
Oh,
It
I
was
gotta
Cut
go
It
back
Up
to
Chip.
that. I think I have that.
The name of the
Gotta
record
go
is
back
Cut
and
It
hear
Up
that.
Chip.
Get on some positive shit. Use your hands out the music and whip and cut it up, chip.
Okay.
All right.
Okay? Me and Webb went up to Def Jam. Leol Cohen personally gave us our checks
Wow. Okay.
for just producing it. I'll spill the beans. You know what I'm saying? It was $1,400. We split it.
Okay.
Happy to get there. I never saw $700. You know what I'm saying? So give me that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what to get. 'Cause back in the days, you know, we was too busy just wanting to be seen on stage performing. That's the way I felt when I was singing Jackson 5 songs in school talent shows and all that stuff. I wasn't looking at it as getting money. You know? And just this, you know, the footage that I sent you from the party, that's the way my voice was singing All I Do Is Think of You by Jackson 5. It was only 2 songs that I was singing. All I Do Is Think of You, which was the main song, and Sugar Daddy. No. Sugar Daddy is 3 songs, my bad, and Daddy's Home by Jermaine. Those are the only songs I ever did in the talent shows.
Wow.
My voice override however they play the record, you know. My voice override so everybody heard my voice.
Right.
So I get compared with Tone Loc and all that shit all the time too.
What, your voice?
Yeah.
To Tone Loc?
The Tone Loc.
Let's do it.
But then I gotta switch it.
We had a whole conversation about your voice on the way up.
But then I switch it, I'd be like, nah, Tone Loc talk more like this. You know, Wolfman Jack and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, me, I don't know. You know. But yeah, so
We're gonna come back to that.
Oh, yeah,
voice
we gonna
thing.
talk about
that.
I want
all that.
to. Yeah.
So I was out on tour. Now there was this gentleman that worked up at Def Jam. It was Faith. She brought me in. Gave me a whole bunch of up and coming artists from Def Jam, the R&B side, and I had the exclusive Third Base album,
Cactus
Ooh.
album.
the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had promotional use only
Nice.
cassette. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you keep saying
That-
Leo, and I'm thinking Elroy Cohen.
Yeah.
It's a gas face.
Yeah. So, you know, then next thing you know, there's this gentleman. I had his name on the tip of my tongue, but we're gonna come back to it because I'm good at that. Somehow, some way, the name pop up. I could be talking about.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, I was in a restaurant called, and his name. No, that's not the name of the restaurant. But it was him who had to connect with the London people that was trying to promote a show. Mm-hmm. He had connections to get with me. Patrick is his name.
Patrick.
He used to work at Def Jam.
Okay.
And he had to connect somehow to get with me. And I guess that was through me running around with the Def Jam contract from Faith. Because they was telling me, Faith was telling me that Leo and them was telling me, yo, I don't give a shit how you got to find him, find Sugar Bear. Now, all right, now mind you, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Later on, the what you call it, because I come back from London, my London tour, I come back, and all this shit start happening. All right? So when I got with Red, because I've been hanging out more with Red than Russell, you know, Mr. Bill, I don't even know if Mr. Bill was still president at this time. But, you know, he cut from the same cloth.
Right.
He cut from the BAU, and he the one made sure they had to connect with Chuck.
Right.
He the one bringing that shit to them, and, you know, DMC and all them was like, oh, my God, the voice. Listen to that voice. It's like God talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Can I just ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So you were touring London with your records on Coslet? Like,
on Coslet, we subsidized with a label called Champion.
So, okay, so you were doing
I
your
was
own
on tour
with,
without being on a major label.
Wow. Now that's okay.
That makes sense.
I'm like,
yeah.
you ain't on that next plateau yet? Okay.
No.
I like that. Okay.
Not at that time.
That's serious. Mm-hmm. So
Sheila was home, and I just made sure that, you know, that all these offers, these two offers was on the table and stuff like that. And, you know, she wasn't even really involved at this time. She got signed after I came back, but I wanted her to take control of the money that I made from off my tour, because they mailed the money to me. I got paid off that tour in a FedEx fucking envelope, cash. No check, it was cash.
Oh my God.
What? $17,000.
What?
Just for that 2-week tour.
Wait.
In a FedEx fucking envelope. I was at the door like this, my hands crossed. Wait till I see this girl. She didn't come home last night.
Wow.
Wow.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I was living in Roosevelt, man.
Wow.
Delisle Avenue. You know, it went to Sheila. It went to my management. She mailed it to me like that.
Come on, man.
God rest her soul.
Oh, my
Her
God.
body. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That is insane.
17,000 in a
In
FedEx
cash.
envelope.
I can't get that
Dude,
out
I
of
don't
my
even
head.
want to mail $15 to my nephew
No,
for their
boy,
birthday.
you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it now.
I'm going to deliver $5 to your
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Dog
I'll
sniff
give
that
you
shit out and be like, yo, you look up his off, yo, there's a bag in here.
Damn.
Yo, there's a bag folded up
Wow.
in this motherfucker.
It's a different time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So when I got back, after I got back, here comes the office and stuff like that. So Red Alert said he liked the record and all that stuff. Mind you, I already had my conversation with Faith and Russell. I don't know. I just chose to go with Next Plateau, which was because that was Red Alert's first compilation album.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his first record deal. And because I fuck with Red more than I fuck with the Def Jam family, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would have been different if like Drew brought me in, you know, Grandmaster D, or Sugar Dice, you know what I'm saying? Or Chuck,
Right.
or Flav, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You know, doesn't matter. I know them all, personally
Right.
and stuff.
You went with the
if they-
loyalty.
yeah, it's
You went-
different.
Yeah.
I, from being out to parties and all that stuff and whatever, me and Red was always, so why not?
Got you.
I used to say, I didn't know how to read contracts, this, that, and that. Oh, Russell contract, Def Jam contract was because they wanted my kids too. I just snapping. I over exaggerated shit. I'm just snapping though. I was exaggerating, not knowing how to read contracts at that time.
Okay. We're going to get back to
Yeah, I'm
what-
with you, not
no,
against you. Come on,
So-
Ultra, we here to spill the beans.
Oh, I
nigga.
know,
I'm
I
keeping
know.
100.
No,
Nigga
no.
ain't gonna come for me talking about I dare nigga come for me. I'm just speaking my truth, yo.
No, I
Fuck
love
outta
it.
here.
Yeah.
So, the song "Don't Scandalize Mine." Let's talk about "Don't Scandalize."
Yeah.
Okay.
We noticed at the so let me give you a little background. I think I told you this before. I used to be in these teenage clubs in New Jersey. So it was like, teenage clubs. You get in, there's no liquor being sold. We just kids. You threw "Don't Scandalize Mine" on. Yo, the people went crazy.
Pandemonium. I want to give a shout out to Jersey. No, Philly.
Yeah,
I have
and
to
I'm
give a
15
shout out.
minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because now we're talking, this is still Cosmic Records.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to my girl, DJ Lady B.
Lady
Oh,
B. I knew you were gonna
grew
say.
up on
yeah,
Lady
yeah,
B.
yeah.
I like to say my name is Lady B.
Went to her radio station, interviewed, record, and she put me on a birthday party flyer that she wanted me to perform at with Tony Terry.
Oh, okay.
It was me, Tony Terry. At this time, Steady B was out. Steady B was home.
Steady B.
So he's in the audience. He's sitting at the bar. It's a little bar. It was a fashion show also. Me and Tony, it's upstairs, another bar setting. So he went, sung his songs, sung Happy Birthday to her.
Right.
I did Don't Scandalize Mine. And yeah, it was a beautiful moment.
So I want to just say,
Yeah.
so I heard that on Philly radio.
What,
Don't
the
Scandalize
Oh,
Mine.
the record. Okay.
Yeah.
Lady
Like
B.
I would hear
give
that
a shout out to
like
Lady B.
every week, And I told him I got to tell you, when I first heard it, I thought the chorus was "and still I rhyme." That's what I heard in my head. You know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people say-
I mean, I was like, I don't know, 12 years old, 13 years old,
Right.
something like that.
Damn.
And I was listening to that, and that voice, and it
Right.
confused me a little bit. And I don't want to get too far ahead here
Mm-hmm.
because, like, I heard that, and then I also heard the "Slave to the Rhythm" song, kind of around that same time.
got
I heard them
it.
both on the radio, and I was
gonna get to
confused.
that.
Now I know you
Yeah,
are. I know
gotta
you are.
get
I
to
didn't want
that.
to jump the gun, but like I heard that, and I heard what you were saying earlier about voice. That's why I kept asking you about it, because that voice, like I always tell him, I'll never forget the first time I was listening to Philly radio, and I heard Chill Rob G. And they played this snippet from one of his songs with no music behind it. And it was just that voice, and I was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was a similar experience. I heard the voice, and I was like,
I appreciate that, man, because
Yeah.
a lot of it comes from the voice.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I mean, everybody always talked about the voice. Like Melly Mel was the voice. Chuck D says the same thing, the voice. Son of Berserk is all in Chuck D. I don't care. It's my opinion, Chuck. I said it. You know that. But we're all cut from the same cloth.
Right.
So no doubt.
That makes
so
sense, yeah.
I could say I could take TA and you together and made my voice. You know what I'm saying? But all I did was tone it a different way and to create my voice. I could say that, all day. You know what I'm saying? Because they was already doing it. I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
But
But it's not, to me though, it's not just the voice.
yeah,
It's the style.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's important to me. So you say you're a musician,
Yeah.
My perspective when I hear,
I feel I am. I don't care how many
no,
chords I hit.
I hear. I think I agree with you, and you can explain it better than I can. But I come at, for me, it's poetry. Like that's where so you're a musician.
I get it.
And I think of it more in terms of poetry. And you said it a little bit with like Cool Keith and how it's like the wordplay and
it's
stuff
how
like
he
that.
do this shit. You know how Ultra was killing it.
Yeah.
Look at Cool Keith, General. How you doing to the go funeral?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, this orthodox shit. But the shit fit.
Yeah, it totally worked.
That's
right?
where I came up with my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cool Keith was always my dad. I said, well, if it worked for him, it worked for me, but I want to put the actual words into it. Like, I don't want to be just saying stuff, grabbing it and putting it together. I wanted to say shit, but it meant something.
Yeah. So and I know I'm sure you have some things you want to interject, but I just to round out the thought process, one of the things that really draws me in is the use of pauses. So you have this incredible, like the way you can match your voice to the beat. And I heard what you said earlier about the one, you know, and that made sense to me.
Yeah.
And then, but then all of a sudden there's this long pause before I hear the next thing. And that is, my ear wants that so badly, dude. I'm telling you, like, so would you talk a little bit about that? Like, where does that come from?
I never really knew I was doing that. Like I said, I'm gonna pause here. It's just something. It always resonated in me. Once again, it's not what you say; it's how you say it. So if I felt that a pause needed to be there, that's what it's gonna go. It happened naturally.
And did that grow out of your musical sense, or just more of like what you were trying to convey?
I would believe it's because of the musical sense. Because of knowing how the fulfillment of that pause, what's in that pause, rides, and then I come back in on the one. Yeah.
So we were talking earlier, and I was like, it's not what you say, it's what you convey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
all right.
So like sometimes you could say nothing.
Right.
But the way it sets up the next thing you do say, you know what I mean? Like that's what gets in my ear.
Right.
You know?
What is in the water in Long Island? Because I've heard Rakim say something like that similar. Because he was talking about he played instrument. I forget what instrument he played.
Right. He's a saxophonist.
Right.
So that allows him, you know, which when I heard that conversation too, and how he formats his vocals in pockets.
Right.
Where something's missing there, he'll put in. You know what I'm saying? But he's demonstrating it in notes.
Yes.
Playing his sax. So with me just listening to the track, I could format my voice as an instrument, which it is.
Yes.
And it would be, you know, notes, whatever, or however I feel that pause. Right. I mean, like I said, I don't even know I'm doing it. It's just something that
you just
feels
have the
good
ear.
to me.
You mentioned saxophone. That's a reed instrument, which involves being played through the mouth too, which is like kind of the voice and the breath, you know.
Right, and that's back to Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Because he plays saxophone, and he tells you that he was utilizing his voice as an instrument, or putting it in play with the, you know, the songs that he was doing. He was putting it in play with his vocals.
It's interesting because Rakim doesn't really have notes with his voice, but he has rhythm.
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. So
yeah.
He can sit up there and go, like my man Hustle Man on Martin, baby, man. When he played the kazoo on the saxophone. The nigga had a saxophone. A kazoo was taped on the fucking. They pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? So something similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. Yeah. That's exactly how it's done. And for those that's like we talked about before, musicians listen to music completely different. Like I said, it's, you know, with me, with my music, I got to hear the music. That's going to help me predict what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
You know,
I love
flow
that.
or whatever. I don't just follow hi-hats. I follow the strings. You know what I'm saying? If I know something's coming, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to be on beat. I got to come back on beat.
So we were bugging.
Different.
We were
telling
bugging
and selling.
We were talking about your style coming up. So we had both listened to that Westwood.
Yeah.
Chilling in
London with Tim Westwood, Capital Radio 95.8 FM as we get ill. Sugar Band's in full effect. As we do it like this one time.
That's where I was
And
thinking
there's,
too. Yeah.
I don't know the rhyme, but you were like, you pause. I bench press. And you came in like,
Yeah.
but it was like a dramatic
It was a
pause
huge
between-
pause, yeah,
You
yeah.
wrote the rhyme, so I knew you
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
rhyme, but you was like, you
Oh,
was like,
shit.
I bench press.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you came in and I was like,
Grabbing the mic each and every night, creating much trouble with those who bite. Once I'm in your area, I'll speak my peace, then walk away and leave you astray. You can't understand, my department is infinite. You're just an infant and all you want is this, but you know I don't think so. You're too old-fashioned, this is not a go-go. New and improved and never been used, so don't abuse. I'ma blow my fuse and ignite. It's all in the cadence. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
That's
oh, man.
That line,
Listen.
my department is infinite. You like highlighted
go-
that. There, just the flow of that line,
and
one
I
line.
admire y'all to like dissect
That's
what y'all
yeah.
doing with me right now, man. I've never ever had anybody talk to me on that, and because I've always thought that shit was dope to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're not the only one.
And these are songs that, these are rhymes that y'all heard from an interview.
Mm-hmm.
A freestyle. This was my first freestyle. It wasn't freestyle. They were just a collective of all rhymes that I was trying to put together in song.
What's that? What he said? Something, I'm drinking orange juice, I'm drinking Tang.
Oh,
yeah.
He's like, so bang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Southern
yeah.
Kings. Right. I mean, to go back to those, 'cause, I got those still on cassette as demos. I meant to bring it. I meant to record it on my phone. But but yeah, those rhymes was like crazy. Back there, what was I thinking? I don't know if it was. Yeah, exactly. E. Word up.
Listen, we need to. I told you before. There's labels like UK labels, and I'm sure there's American labels that if you clean, I don't know whatever you got to do, put it through a computer somehow, clean up those demos. They put that stuff out. You know what I mean?
Even on Bandcamp.
But but I mean,
Yeah.
you could do that, and you can
Yeah.
also could press them up.
Yeah.
The people that eat
Hey
that up.
man.
Yeah.
This right here, doing other stuff and doing the Strong Island still, still reviving me. But when writing those rhymes back then, though, I guess I was locked in a mode. Like, a fool or not, education I got, take a shot, it'll get blocked. Rub against the backboard, you trip over my chord. This is what I'm saying. You think that I'm playing, I'm not complaining, nor paying attention to you. Because this is how I do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, it was just, at the same time, telling you, this is what I do. I'm not trying to follow y'all. I'm not. I'm doing me. I'm not following, nothing I'm saying is what y'all doing. Call it a trick from my lip, not a dive, never a dip. I keep the shit getting fit, and that's just a tip. I'm rolling that stone when you see me coming or going, not running but flowing, because there's no, the pause. Got the pause.
Yeah.
But, I am shocked. I am shocked to even hear anybody come for me with those questions, man. I'm like, anything you want to ask me, I got you, boy. Word up. Nobody ever asked me what was the meaning of what Scandalize is. What did it mean to you?
We were talking that on the way
Did
up.
you break it
yeah,
down?
I want to hear that.
It meant mind your fucking business.
That's
Pretty much what he said, yeah.
We got shut down at a show in Philly. There was a big festival y'all had going on, Bridge, Philly and New York and shit. And we were told not to, we just got back from off the tour. And we did something over there with Kings of Pressure. There was a lot of us that was from Long Island that was on this shit. Johnny Juice and them. And they were bugging out. They were throwing flies and all that shit. But it wasn't like my intention to say, I already knew that first of all, my lyrics don't have cuss words in them. But what we do is excite the crowd with, Stacy, cousin, he forgot that we wasn't supposed to curse. So when I got up there, they ready to penetrate, and then Ready to Penetrate was over. I said, how many of y'all know what a Scandalizer is? They. Right. I was like, for all that don't know, Yo, cut. Tell him what a scandalizer is. That nigga said it clear as day. A motherfucker that don't mind their fucking business. I said it before once more, time after time. Pug pull.
Right.
We had a meeting with the mayor, all that shit in the dressing room. We
Wow.
apologize for that. We just stuck on our show. I mean, I understand professionalism, but, you know, I knew it. I don't think I told cousin. I knew that we couldn't be, you know, because I was like, I'm not worried about it. I don't cuss in my records. Forgot that the fucking show starts like that.
So Cut Cousin was your DJ?
Yes.
Okay.
The GM Web D, he was producer and everything. Me and GM Web D had a fallout. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that too. But I've done that already. But we had a fallout, but he wasn't, just to, you know, keep it clear, he was never to be the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about having a DJ.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? I was giving opportunity to which Cut Cousin is Son of Berserk's cousin.
Okay.
So that's where Cut Cousin Cousin comes from him. And this is some shit though. He was DJing back in the days. You know, he's nice. You heard all them. You heard the scratches on the Tim Westwood shit, right?
Yeah.
That's him live.
Yeah.
Hey, you said it a bunch of times.
That's
Yeah,
him
Cut
live,
Cousin.
changing up the records and all that shit. But he never persisted on to be a DJ. It was just something to do at that time.
Right.
It's called Cut Cousin because he's a barber.
Oh wow.
Give me a cut.
Love it.
I thought this.
I love it.
I thought
That's
this.
that right there. Let's see your profile, ER. Let's see your profile, ER.
Wait. So he's your barber or?
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh man, this is full circle.
Yeah,
So I was good on tour.
This is crazy.
Just, fell off after that.
Wow.
I gotta go to the Spanish guys because he don't use straight razor.
Wow.
But all right, so let's go into. I want to go back into the question we was talking about, the transition. Okay, so red alert, boom, come back home. All right, shit is on fire for me. You know, I guess everybody's interested in all this shit. So I do the next plateau deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do the next plateau. Okay. I hear this goddamn Rhythm is the Master shit. Now I was already involved, with hearing Casey Flight's. If I'm not mistaken, he might have been the first one to use that sample because it was, what's the name was in, David Burns is in the video.
Oh, is he?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in the video.
I just read his book, actually, David Burns.
Yeah?
Yeah. He didn't mention any of that, but...
Yeah, he probably won't.
Yeah.
Because those Scandalize mine took off. Excuse me.
Generally, though, I think he does have a positive attitude towards sampling, based on what I read.
He has a what?
Positive attitude towards sampling.
That's why a friend of mine told me that he's performing in Manhattan and we need to go and check him out. I told him, well, take me, nigga. I don't know. You got this information. Don't tell me where the fuck to go. I don't drive. Drive you up the wall, nigga. Well, go. Anyway, so yeah. So he had the KC flight and Rhythm is the Master out. Now I'm thinking, why did Red Alert do this with Ready to Penetrate when I was on the prize of Don't Scandalize?
Wow, okay. All right, now we get to it.
Yeah.
We on Hot 97 or Kiss, one of them shits, Kiss FM. They both on the same radio station. So they looking out, whatever. So here's my, that was my outtake on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I felt that, the Don't Scandalize mine didn't get radio play in New York. Because it got bamboozled. I ain't going to say I was, what they call it?
Hoodwink, bamboozle.
No, I already said the bamboozle. No, what they say when you
Blackball. Yeah, there you go.
That's it right there.
All right.
And I was like, okay. But what was so fascinating about it is my record, Don't Scandalize Mine, can still destroy Rhythm is the Master. That Talking Head sample, the actual It Takes Two by Lynn Collins, The Rock Kim, you can get a smack for this.
You can get a smack for this.
Rick James, yo ho. And motherfucking, there's one more sample, right? Get a smack for this.
That part.
Oh, that guitar scream
Yeah.
was crazy. That's when records, that was following behind
Yeah.
Public Enemy. So at that time, with the record now being on Next Plateau, I went into my feelings. I'm trying to figure out why Don't Scandalize Mine is not, I'm paying attention to Don't Scandalize Mine and not Ready to Penetrate. So like I said, I heard the KC Flight with David Burns, with the actual sample, and then here I am with the sample and Chuck Chill Out with the sample. But, you know, at the end of the day, I had let it override. I wasn't thinking about it no more. I stopped thinking about it, you know. Me and Chuck became boys through Flavor.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hang out, do our thing, you know, how boys do. Get together and do boy shit. Ain't gonna tell no, spill the beans on that, but me and Chuck always been boys, you know what I'm saying? We was good with each other, you know what I'm saying? And just recently, there was a Old Timers Day that Chuck gave out in the Bronx. I went, attended, and finally met Cool Chip.
Ah.
You know, I got pictures and everything with them.
Nice.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? And it's like, but during that, because, Cool Chip's time away, you know what I'm saying? He probably forgot that when the record came out, because Chuck was telling him, yo, this is the dude I was telling you about that had the same beat. And I had to come in and say, no, it wasn't a beat, nigga, it's a sample. You ain't had my beat. He had that Grace Jones beat shit.
Grace
you know what I'm
Jones,
saying?
yeah.
No, it's strafe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That strafe shit. You know what I'm saying? Set it off on the left, y'all. Set it off on the right. That shit, y'all used that. And then came in with the Talking Head shit. But it was the sample y'all used. So, okay, that's what it was. But anytime after that was no problem and all that stuff. But like I said, I think that's what had stopped, the Don't Scandalize Mine movement as far as New York was concerned, because I did hear Red Alert play Ready to Penetrate on the radio one time, but that was during his thing. But I was still tight because Chuck get to play his shit every time he on. Even when I was locked up.
Right.
Even when I was locked up, he did Chuck Chill Out. Play. I knew it was gonna come too. Right before he closes his show, he plays that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to let that go. You know what I mean? But during the time of, the record and all that stuff, that was the transition, and that's what was happening at that time, with that play. Everything went left after that. You know what I'm saying? I had did everything backwards. If you want to say it that way. You know what I'm saying? I was a rapper before I was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being a drug dealer, it turned into a rapper. I went backwards.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the love of hip hop wasn't there. I started having children and all that stuff, and then my mind was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I can't say, like I said, I had good intentions, but it still wind up bad for me. At the end, of me still growing. You know what I'm saying? I had what they call like what I call it. I was trying to build my own world. You follow what I'm saying? And instead of being in everybody else's world, I'm in everybody else's world. You know what I'm saying? I'm with what's happening today. I use this as a cliche all the time, that you got to look at things through an apartment building windows. You can have so many windows to look through for one topic. It all depends on where you're at mentally with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can understand everybody now.
Right.
instead of me trying to force feed you my fucking meaning and no, this is the right way, that still have me in my perfect world.
This, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My perfect world is not that I have to be in everybody else's world. I have to be fair. Even though I know at the end of the day, because it worked for me, that is the right, but there's certain steps everybody, where I took 3 steps to get up, motherfuckers still have to take 1, 2, 3. They gotta take 1 step at a time to get up. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta breathe. And that keeps you away from verbal altercations with people and stuff like that. All you gotta do is just understand everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like the conversation we had going on.
Yeah, that kind of echoes, like we talk about this a lot, like the language we use is, are we gonna be exclusive or inclusive, right? So like, we could come at it from, yo, I'm the biggest Sugar Bear fan ever on planet Earth,
right.
But we're trying to keep it more like, yo, we love this, and we want to bring other people in, and we want them to see it the way we see it, and maybe get some. Maybe they don't get the same thing we get, but they get something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's kind of where we're coming from. So it's like that idea that it's not about me being special. It's about me trying to connect with other people on a little bit on their terms, not just on my terms.
Which means that you understand, because that's all we all need anyway.
Yeah,
it's someone that just understand where we coming from.
Yeah,
as an individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me ask you about, so now, Ready to Penetrate.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off, but you keep saying, like, I was thinking about Don't Scandalize, but I got to tell you, I feel strongly about Ready to Penetrate too.
It was a lot of work in there.
It's a good song, man.
Thank you.
So who found that Jackson 5 sound?
It was mine all day, every day.
You brought that
makes
web,
sense.
Wow,
day,
that makes
day.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we know a little bit of history,
because of my Jackson 5 background.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you center the song around that sample, or you just said, like, you just knew you wanted to use that, or how did you put that together?
It was just something that it was placed where it needed to be placed.
Right.
I always wanted to use it.
Okay.
We didn't know if it was going to be used for that song. Mind you, I only have a single.
Right.
Side A, side B. So it was just while we was making Ready to Penetrate with all those samples, because remember the break. Here's a secret too. During the creative process of doing that record, when we was doing the record, we forgot to break. It had to be edited in. And back then we was on the tapes, the 4-inch, the 2-inch reel reels.
Oh man.
So we had to splice it in because it was forgotten. Secret. So to hear it now, you can't hear the splice. It's like punched in and shit like that. But that's was
crazy.
The professionalism of the engineering and all that
Who
stuff.
engineered that record? Do you remember the engineer? No? Okay. But
it was done at Ian London Studios in Long Island, though.
Okay.
And Ian London produced a lot of records. Well, they had a lot of artists. Matter of fact, Redhead Kingpin was before me.
Right.
Before my session and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
So with that Ready to Penetrate, one of my favorite lines. Where'd you come up with the swab the deck mate of Flintstone, you're fired?
Okay.
I love that line.
Chuck D, we snapping. Once again, we snapping and shit. So back in the days when we wore the Gazelles with no lenses in them and shit like that, his snap was me looking like Mr. Slate in the Gazelles. Shit, so I look like Mr. Slate.
Wow.
So, that his voice went in tone with that shit.
Yeah.
He'd be like, Flintstone, you're fired and shit.
Oh my God.
To this day, Chuck do it every time we see each other. He was like, Flintstone, you're fired, because he know that was his shit. He snapped on me, I used it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Some kind of way, I just fit it in.
That's crazy.
What I love about that, though, is then those things come into our minds, and we just like fan. You know what I mean? It
Right.
it just gets us thinking. You know, we're like, what?
Where
You
did it
know?
come from?
Just like the
Yeah.
Flintstones.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. I based my voice on it too. Because watching the Flintstones, I was like, you know, you got to coordinate your voice with that. You got to come from Flintstone. You're fine. You know, it just mimicked it.
So another thing about that, so that record, you put on the back. I guess, were you working at Taco Bell at the time?
I was working at Taco Bell during the production.
And you put that on there, like you know, you shouted them out.
Because
I've never seen that before.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is where the humble, me being humble now,
Right.
starting to recognize shit. Whatever time it got grabbed, okay, I know that this got to be a part of my walk now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me grab this, because I'm still walking now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm still going through shit. You know what I'm saying? But I grabbed that and knew that, you know, complimenting is important. Being recognized is important for positive things. People like to hear that. I was a foster child, okay? I was a foster child till moms came and got me. We moved to Queens. Then I moved back to Long Island. Then that summer, 79, and then I was back in Long Island again. You know, did some shit out of state. You know, moms couldn't handle your boy or whatever. So the foster family said that we'll do this. You know, make sure you get through school. No, I was already in now. I'm still a troubled child mentally in Queens, thinking I could bring this shit to where I'm at in Saratoga Springs with this family who's still my. If I'd have got adopted, they would have been my brother and sister-in-law. But all those years I've been letting them know that, you know, I've been calling them uncle and aunt.
Right.
Okay? So, you know, during that time, you know, it's just a crazy time mentally. But I know that whatever I didn't get, that I would want to utilize it to the next person, knowing that I know that's what they want, because that's what I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't never getting that. I'm a child that don't have aunts, uncles, grandparents, and all that stuff. So everything that I'm doing, I'm like I said, was building my perfect world.
Right.
But now I had to get up out of that and join the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get focused in that world. So, you know, that's what that, you know, basically.
I'm sorry, we'll cut back. When you were on Next Plateau, were you were you cool with Ultramagnetic? They were on Next Plateau. Salt and Pepper?
Ultra, well,
like those type
I
of
only
groups?
met him one time, and this is so funny. This is funny because I'm coming back from my UK tour. Yeah. Okay. Now you're making me dig in. I'm coming back. Was I on Next Plateau? Was Next Plateau part of Champion? I don't know. Now we think about that shit. All right, so coming back, we never hung out. Kool Keith had a chick that used to come out to Hempstead, Long Island, and visit.
Okay.
Now Hempstead is everything's a town of Hempstead, and all the towns, Roosevelt, Freeport, every park, everything that is owned by the town of Hempstead in each town.
Okay.
So I used to run into Kool Keith, but the first time I met them was on a plane coming back from off my tour.
Wow.
That's fucked up you would say that. And guess who was road managing them? Sugar Dice. Road manager for Houdini.
Wow.
Coming full circle. Okay. So we're talking about London. Let's talk about coming from London, and let's talk about going to London. That's not coming from.
Going. Okay, so you know Patrick is, like I said, he worked at Def Jam, so he the one that said he had to connect with the promoters in London. I didn't ask no more or whatever, and he was responsible for everything.
Right.
He, went, got the passport and all that shit, set this whole thing up. I was over there.
So is this when you met Richie, did the song with Richie Rich, or is this?
Richie Rich, they from London. G Street Records, they had an office in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? G Street, they knew I was in London.
Okay.
That's what happened. They knew I was in London. They got with the promotion. Promotion got with me saying Richie Rich want to holler at you. So he waited till the tour was over. So they extended my stay. G Street Records and all that stuff to do a record. Because on that album, there was only me and I believe it was the Jungle Brothers. It wasn't De La Soul. I think it was.
Was it a Richie Rich album?
It was a Richie Rich album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let Niles be born. Niles be born. Let Niles be born. Niles be born.
And I was under the weather doing that record. Yeah, I did that. We did that record like in a week. I think that's the fastest I ever put something together. It was my idea to put it together the way it was formatted, too.
Let Niles be born. Niles be born. Let Niles be born.
Because you guys went back and forth on that.
Right, because I said, okay, my voice is fucked up, and I wasn't trying to write 16s. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was, because he's a DJ,
Yeah.
I let him
We were just
speak.
talking about this.
I let him speak. Pardon me. I let him speak while I introduce him, basically. I'm
Yeah.
introducing him in every 8 bars or whatever. Let him
Right.
complete the other 8 to make it 16.
Yeah.
Right.
He's good to go. Richie Rich protected the pro at what he's doing. Ratchet and Nixon and the Bear is making it clear that he's in there. Sugar Bear.
And it works because it makes it better because there's this like kind of
The
back
pattern.
and forth dialogue
It
going,
was.
and it didn't stay like kind of in the same,
Right.
you know,
Right.
And
Coming from London.
people don't do that,
And
you know.
once again, I use Rakim, Let Niles Be Born.
And that's why I was asking you about the 5 because
Oh.
it was a lot. That's like, you know, that's why a lot of stuff I was asking you about
Let
that.
Niles Be Born, man.
Yeah.
Time for y'all to know something.
Yeah.
Let Niles Be Born about me and Richie Ray.
Right.
So, and when he kept putting on shit, there's so many bottoms under that though.
Oh, yeah.
Word up.
That's
Fucking Sly and the Family Stone under that shit. I don't remember all the samples. I mean, you know, like the beat and shit like that, but there's definitely
Did they clear the samples?
wasn't clearing shit back
Exactly.
in the days, man.
Shh,
Well,
just because.
no, I'm sure a lot of people. Just
Everybody
didn't
know
even
no
recognize it.
samples was being cleared until they knew that we had a hit record. They
Yeah.
wasn't fucking with me because it wasn't a hit record. If it became a hit, them niggas was
Then
coming
they
for
gonna
you.
come for you.
They gonna come for you. Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? And then just hope to God, if it's so much of a hit, the record company or whoever, you know, G Street, take care of that.
Back it up, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So-
because he was the DJ, he had all the records.
Yeah.
So when you know we use, I'm not a brother with a little bit of say so. That's but my man from
Yeah.
Philly, your boy,
Oh, yes.
EST.
Yeah,
where he
I'm
gets
not
his
a
name
brother
from.
with a little
Over
bit
the
of
same, yeah.
Overlord of Fresh.
Yeah. That radio station, play me if you want.
And that's
And then
internet.
he said,
Yeah.
I said, Richie Rich, you know, rubber band. You know what I'm saying? He says, I'm not a brother with a little bit of say so. That's him talking.
That shit is funky.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I did like that shit.
Oh,
That's
that
a
was
good, yeah, that's a good
man.
record, yeah.
Because we were talking, you were like, you know that one? I'm like, I know that. Like, that was.
That
yeah.
shit was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hard. You know,
So at this time, was this the same time? So going back a little back, was this the same time you did the Westwood freestyle?
The Capital Rap Session with Sugar Bear, the Powerful Powerlord.
Was that the same?
all in that,
That
was
was
the
all in
same
that
pocket.
time.
That's
Gotcha.
the only time I went to London.
Okay. So were you booked to go see Westwood? You know, like how did that happen?
Them niggas knew I was there.
And they gripped you
Shit
up.
shifted. I experienced a Michael Jackson moment in their subway. They call them tube tunnels.
The Tube, yeah.
Got off the train, we're going to the promoter's office. Got mobbed.
Wow.
So from that point on, that's when I needed security.
So before going there, I mean, you experienced that. Did you have any idea that you were that big, or was anything coming back to let you know that could happen, or it just all came at that time?
It all came at that time.
Wow.
I wouldn't have never thought. I mean, when I came home and all that stuff, and then, you know, social media comes into play years later, decades later maybe. then I'm looking and seeing how much, comments and seeing how big that record was to them. To them. I didn't think of it really.
Just a couple points I was thinking about earlier, but didn't want to cut anything off, So the name, Sugar Bear.
I tell this to everybody, man, whoever snapping and whatever, nigga, don't I look like that motherfucker? That little Sugar Bear on the Super Sugar Crisp on the cereal box.
Or something, yeah.
That's what they were calling me when I was little.
All right.
I look just like that mother. Hey, grandma. All that shit. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And if I look at it, I'm like, yeah, you fit that description.
Okay.
Well,
but at the end of the day, yeah, that's what it was. They got it twisted, you know what I'm saying? Instead of the teddy bear, which is my government, put the sugar on that shit. Instead of calling me teddy bear, put the Sugar Bear on it, which is just a cereal box.
Gotcha. What about...
Made it a stage name.
What about Powerful Powerlord? Where'd that come from?
That was just a way of talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That came from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Powerful Powerlord Sugar Bear. That was something.
Okay.
Yeah, to describe my introduction.
So speaking of names, and I just want to keep it Long Island centric.
Strong Island. Yeah, I gotta get this right, all right? We don't come through Philly and change it up, say silly or some shit like that, man. We know.
I love it.
We in Philly, nigga. Strong Island.
Strong Island.
All right, my boy.
Where we got them wildin'.
That's it, baby.
So I just want to throw out a couple people, Long Island, and just you give me one word, just that you think of when I say these people.
Okay.
So, Chuck D.
Mentor.
Flavor Flav.
My brother.
Dr. Dre.
My brother.
The Shockley Brothers.
Oh, mentors, family.
MC Glamorous.
Family.
Busta Rhymes.
My nephew. Bust already know. He knows. He know already. You know what I'm saying? We have a rapport.
Dinko D.
We have a rapport. They know already.
Okay.
Family.
So, T.A., Son of Berserk.
Immediate family.
Okay.
Everybody has a position, man. Seniority rules in different levels. Today, motherfucker did something and make your seniority levels move and all that stuff. But you just gotta categorize them, and be simpler for you to, keep it organized and separated. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying? The same love that I give. Because the title over somebody, you family, you just family. You know what I'm saying? But I just tried to break it up where this, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So, I can say it this way, but this is what I mean.
Right.
So it's all the similarity. But that's Strong Island family right there. We all cut from that 510 South Franklin, Spectrum City Public Enemy building. Everyone you named, I would never talk down about them or anything. They all play a part in the Sugar Bear shit. You know what I'm saying? They were young. Even R.I.P. Prodigy, you know what I'm saying? They used to be at 510 too.
Wow.
The producer that did my record was the producer of their first album. They used to be at 510.
Wow. Got some information.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So Mobb Deep plays a role too. Havoc was the one that lived in Queensbridge. But Prodigy stayed in Hempstead. Yeah, residence out here. R.I.P. That's my motherfucking man. Miss him too. Yeah. But anyway, man, family is family, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, brother.
You have no idea.
At the end of the day, man. I mean, to have something like this, I can't wait to hear the audio. How y'all feel about it? Because this is my first
Brother, love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
We're
saying?
gonna have to, whittle down and figure out what we get. But yeah, this is.
You gotta be you.
There's so much here, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of
yeah.
stuff.
Be you. And everybody know I kept it 100. Whatever thing came out my mouth. So however it's what it is.
Well, we want to thank you, man.
Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Freeport, Strong Island, Uniondale, Strong Island, Roosevelt, Strong Island, Hempstead, Strong Island. I'm up here with people's distinctive travels.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just making, something happen. Letting y'all know Sugar Bear's still here. I want to give a shout out to the UK too.
Definitely.
Clandestine music, bebop, hip hop. Word up. Y'all get at me. I want to talk to y'all.
Well, we want to thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah.
We appreciate your
You
time.
also welcome, Ultra
Yeah.
Overlord. Word up,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate this shit. 60
We,
years old, still doing this shit.
Hey everybody, this is Ultramag 7. Thank you so much for listening to our latest episode 6, a part 2 of Don't Scandalize Ours with my main man, Sugar Bear, the Powerful Powerlord. Fresh, what'd you think about that episode?
Yeah, man. Did you know that Paul Shabazz was so heavily involved with that Mobb Deep album?
Well, I know it now after I looked at the liner notes. I looked at the liner notes of that Mobb Deep album. Is that Juvenile Hell?
Juvenile Hell,
Yeah,
yeah.
I learned, but that's what I love about this podcast.
Yeah.
We learn little interesting tidbits, things that maybe we should have known, but
Maybe we should have known, but we're still learning too. We're like
Absolutely.
everyone else, and who better to, help us increase our knowledge than somebody like Sugar Bear, somebody who's seen so much,
so much wisdom.
Yeah.
That's our brother. That is our brother
for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to give a few shout outs. I might as well, speaking of Sugar Bear, we got to acknowledge all the time he gave us, great stories.
Yes.
I felt like he kind of shared his soul with us,
Yeah, absolutely.
during this episode.
Great interview. Yes.
Yep, so we really appreciate that. And his man, ER.
What up, ER? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. He contributed some nice little tidbits throughout the interview and also provided us with some video footage.
Yeah.
That came in handy for...
He supplied some footage, and we'll be putting that footage up on our respective pages on YouTube and also on our Instagram page. So thank you, ER. We appreciate you, brother.
We do appreciate that, yep. And last but not least, I just want to give a shout out to DJ Soulbuck once again.
Soulbuck!
In addition to giving us our theme song, he continues to help us out with a few recordings here and there.
Give us a little
little augmentation.
Yeah. Good look, Buck.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
really
man.
appreciate
you,
that.
brother.
Yeah, I mean, we're so lucky, man. We have all these people that helping us out and making us look good.
Well, Buck's the third of the trio.
That is true. Yep, he's our Prince Paul.
Yes, sir.
Right? So you want to let everyone know where they can find us and communicate with us?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube. We also, beyond streaming, we also put the episodes of the podcast up on YouTube, so you can play them there. You can also communicate with us there. Just leave a comment. We'll respond back to you. Also, you can go to our Instagram page, peoples_distinctive_travels. And on there, you'll find our what we call vignettes, a little edited videos. We're just talking hip hop and putting up various things about hip hop and about the podcast. So, meet us there, have a discussion, leave a comment, talk to us.